Hi and welcome to my channel. Today we are going to take a look at the newest device from Serdashop called Picovox. You may remember from before that Serdashop has devices like the OPL 2LP3, the OPL 3LP3, the Tandy LPT and the CMSLPT. And now he has one gadget that replaces them all, including the Covox. It's easy enough to connect it, just connect it to the printer port and give it some USB-C power and connect your speakers, and that's it. Straight out of the box it works as a Covox, and to set it to use different sound cards we need to use a utility. But before we dive in and start listening, I just need to tell you I am recording this from an IBM ThinkPad. It's a Pentium processor, about 200 MHz. It's from the 90s. It has a built-in Sound Blaster compatible card, but as we will see, that is not a problem. We can still use the Picovox. Picovox is an adapter for the printer port, so it's perfect for old portable computers that doesn't have a sound card from before. But it's also perfect if you want to listen to CMS/DreamBlaster music or Tandy music. One of the first things I think about when we talk about Covox is old DOS demos. So I'm gonna start with the demo called Chronologia. We'll start it, we'll choose number 2, Covox Speech Thing on LPT port in, and number 6 for the fastest machine. I don't know if you remember Crystal Dreams, but I do, because that was one of the few demos that supported stereo DAC. So the first thing we're gonna do is using the utility for the Picovox with parameter LPT1 set stereo. So now it's set to receive stereo Covox. 3 for stereo, 1 for LPT1 and 8 for the fastest possible. I also want to show you how Covox sounds when we are using ModMaster. So in ModMaster we can press T to select our output device, and here you can see it has found my speaker, the Covox DAC and my Sound Blaster. But by choosing the Covox DAC, by pressing enter, that is the device it will use for music. So let's play a song here. Yes, so that was Covox. For testing the Tandy emulation, I've decided I want to use Planet X3 because it has built-in support for LPT Tandy sound. So let's first type Picovox, which is the utility we will be using to set the different mode. And if we type help, we get some help, and using it is straightforward. LPT1 for printer port 1, set, and then we can choose the mode. We want to test Tandy, so we will just press TND, and that's it, successfully changed. Let's start Planet X3 and choose number 5, Tandy LPT. So But what if your game doesn't have an option for a Tandy on LPT1 like Planet X3 have? What do we do then? Well, there is a utility for the real Tandy LPT device, also sold at Serdashop. And there is a utility there called TNDLPT. That is a memory resident program that will redirect Tandy sound to the printer port. Next out is CMS or DreamBlaster, which is also called. Same command, LPT1 set CMS, and that's it. We will now go back to ModMaster and use that. And we choose CMS music. And first I want to just show you the settings. T, pressing tabulator. And here you can see I have chosen that OPL 2 and 3 on port 388 is none. So it doesn't use the built-in OPL chip. I've put Yamaha OPL on printer port to OPL 3 and printer port 1. I've set Tandy to printer port number 1. And for this test, the most important setting is the CMS, also for printer port 1. So I press enter on CMS and we have activated it with the Covox command, and now we can play some CMS music. So, but what about games using the DreamBlaster or the CMS? Well, they are of course hard-coded to use the CMS on the ISO card. If you want to redirect the CMS sound to the printer port, you will have to use a memory resident program, just like the TNDLPT driver. So CMSLPT.com does that. It will now redirect games to the printer port. But there is an option or two that is worth mentioning. It has SB Sound Blaster emulation mode. I haven't tested that, but one important mode is to set the non-default port. Some games out there are using different ports, so just be aware of that. If your game doesn't work, maybe you need to change the port. So, are there a lot of CMS compatible games out there? Yes, there is a list here. I guess this list is tested with the CMSLPT driver. That's quite a few games. And I have to add, when I have the chance, that I really love the CMS sounds. There are none other music card on the PC that has a more arcade sound than the CMS. And now for the Adlib or OPL 3 or OPL 2 emulation. Setting it is the same as before. Easy enough. Let's try again Planet X3, because that has built-in support for OPL 2 on the printer port. So I'm pressing 4. That worked, no surprises there. But what about games that is not made for OPL on the printer port? Well, there is a solution for that, actually 2 solutions. The first and easiest solution for a computer like this, a Pentium, is just start the driver, Adlib. That's it. Now it redirects Adlib sound or OPL 2/3 sound to the printer port. Easy enough. But what if you want to use this Picovox on older machine? Well, there is a patching utility called AD Patch, where you can patch a lot of games. So if you want to learn more about the OPL2 or OPL3 LPT, I have made several videos on that. So there are a few tricks there you can pick up. There are a few drivers out there, and there are even more patches. There is even one large file with pre-patched games or games demos. If you just take a look on a Vogon's forum, I will put a link in the description. To recap, we know that the Picovox emulates Covox by default when you turn it on. By using the Picovox utility, you can set it to DreamBlaster/CMS, you can set it to OPL/Adlib, and you can set it to Tandy mode. Very easy to use, but the important thing is that very few games has support for Tandy and CMS and OPL3 directly from the game. So then you will need to use drivers, and the drivers are the usual drivers Serdashop has for the TNDLPT, the CMSLPT, and the OPL3 LPT. So you have to use those three utilities with the Picovox. Okay, I think that wraps it up. I hope you learned something in this video. Please hit like and subscribe. Thank you for watching.